Hello friends, this is Catherine Marie and you are listening to Long COVID Real Talk. Today I wanted to tell you about some moving woes that we had. I did mention some of them in the last episode, but just one, I guess I didn't want to tell you about all the woes, just one of them. Last night, the biggest thing about moving that's frustrating if it doesn't happen all at once is that you don't know where your stuff is. So we had a little one who is sleeping on the floor because her bed is in the new place, and we're waiting for the floor to get fixed at the new place. So our stuff for our bedroom is at the old place. And it's been going okay, but then we were awakened by a small person who was complaining. Well, I guess I should say I was not ever sleeping. So I guess the best way of saying this is that we were being kept from falling asleep by a small person who was complaining of feeling itchy. And it was really frustrating because I had told this little person to make sure that she took a bath, and she did not do it. And I've been pretty easy on her lately just because I know that moving is stressful, and I know that having her bed at another place and all of her toys packed up and everything, I know I can imagine that is very stressful for her. So, but she went to bed without taking any bath, and then she was complaining of feeling itchy, and I started to feel so many feelings because part of me was angry that she didn't listen to me, because sometimes the itchiness is just from being 4 years old and not being able to cleanse oneself properly 100% of the time after using the bathroom facilities. So sometimes it's something like that, and usually that's why we want to do baths pretty much every night. But we realized, the thing that I was most frustrated by was the fact that I didn't have any medication. All of the stuff that I use, all of the things that I use to save the day as mommy did not work because I didn't know where anything was. And typically, if someone is experiencing itchiness all over their body, you give them a bath and you put lotion on them, which we could not find, obviously. And then the thing is, you would want to put on a Benadryl spray or something like that, an anti-itching, and you'd give them Benadryl, right? So I have no idea where the Benadryl is, and I just shut down a little bit because I just didn't know what to do. I was feeling so frustrated, and it's late at night. I think another reason why she wasn't going to bed was because we have family visiting for several days, and that combined with the move is, of course, it's stressful. It's not all bad stress, it's good stress, but it's still stress. And anyway, so our sleep cycles are all out of whack anyway, and my husband ended up giving her a bath, and then I walked in and he's putting lotion all over her, and it's my really expensive lotion that's sunscreen moisturizer stuff for my aging face. And I was like, stuff is really expensive. And he said, well, there's no other lotion. And I said, that's true. That's a really good point. but it was just really comical looking back at just the ridiculousness of the whole situation and the very common feeling when you're moving of not knowing where anything is and how frustrating that is. So that was last night. Yesterday went really well with the family that arrived, and I was a little bit embarrassed, I guess, because we have a 4-year-old, and sometimes the way 4-year-olds talk is not very polite, and I was frustrated because, it was time for her to take a nap, and she opened the door and told him to leave. And I just thought, oh my gosh, these poor people just flew across the country to come see her, and she's telling them to leave, and I just wanted to die. I was just like, not really, obviously, but it was just, I was very, very embarrassed. And then, of course, I start thinking all the universal feelings about, are they going to think that we're bad parents? And, am I a bad parent? Should my child have had a different way of saying what they were feeling? And then it also makes you wonder, well, what is okay anyway, and what should be okay but isn't okay? For example, why do we have to be polite? Why aren't we just more honest with people? And why do we worry so much about hurting people's feelings, but to the detriment of ourselves? These are things that I think about because they're things that I experience all the time. And I'm guessing that if you have long COVID, you may also experience them as well, because we spoke a few episodes ago about different traits that make it more difficult to recover from long COVID. And one of them is the people pleasing and just wanting to make sure everyone else is okay and not wanting other people to feel bad and kind of trying to help everybody feel okay, but then it ends up affecting you. So it was quite a day yesterday, but I think that we did the best we could. I think that I was talking to my husband, and I think that I judge myself much more harshly than anyone else does. And I don't think that our family was feeling offended by anything, but it still made me feel very just stressed, because I don't want anyone's feelings to be hurt. I want them to know that we're glad that they are here. And it's hard to spend a tremendous amount of time with other people and not have something happen. So at some point that would cause someone to possibly be offended, depending on the people, I guess. I don't know. This is something I struggle with a lot, even before I had long COVID. So how did I want to wrap this up? So I guess, and also I forgot one part. I also have been struggling with laying down and resting versus trying to be a good hostess. And yesterday when I saw one of the family members, I just like they said that I looked so great, and they had been so worried about me, but they were so glad that I looked so great. And it was kind of a bittersweet moment, because part of me was glad that I looked great too, but part of me was, it's like that frustrating part where you know that how you look on the outside does not show what your life is like on the inside. And I just said, well, right now I'm having a really good day so far, but I could be in bed in 2 hours. I never know, so I just try to enjoy the time that I have when I have it, and just, do what I can with the time that I have to try to do the best I can with it. But it was still kind of hard to hear, as I think you all understand having long COVID, because it's frustrating when you look completely not disabled. But then I think they started to notice after a little while into the visit, when my brain started to just kind of, what's the word? It just started to show little signs of my brain starting to stumble a little bit. And I think they saw that, and then one of them offered to drive the other car so that Mike could drive my car. And I thought that was very sweet, but it was also kind of embarrassing, because I started to feel bad enough that I shouldn't really drive. So that part was not fun, but I looked great though, apparently. So that's good, I guess. But it's hard. All of these things are so hard when you're trying to do regular life things, and you have these expectations of yourself to be a certain way and to accomplish the things that you're used to accomplishing, and to just have long COVID in the mix of something that already is really stressful just makes it that much more difficult, So anyway, that's all I wanted to share. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to share. Sorry. Okay, so one thing I wanted to bring up, because I think it's important, even though it's not related to long COVID. So one of the family members wanted our daughter to give them a hug and kiss, and was trying to get her to do it. And she kind of was not sure, and they were trying to, how do I say this in a way that doesn't sound bad? Kind of manipulate her the way adults do to children in many ways, by pretending that she was hurting their feelings or something like that. And I stepped in. I felt terrible doing it, because again, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or make them feel like I think they're bad people, because I don't. But I just stepped in and said, oh, hey, honey, you don't have to hug or kiss anyone if you don't want to. And, I said, you can just say hi or nothing, you don't have to do anything. But it was just something that I was a little bit proud of myself, but it was still really hard to do. Just, all these things are really, really hard, because you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. You care about them very much, and you don't want any bad feelings, but you're also trying to set boundaries and teach your children and, yourself and everything like that. So, okay, that's everything now. Thank you for listening, and take really good care of yourself, and we'll talk again soon. Okay, take care.